anyone surviving so far. Oh, they are not. Very hit.
Look at goes forward. What a move! That's some late breaking, and that's what you want to see. Awesome pressure put on the McLaren driver, but he's dealing with it like a boss.
Hello and welcome guys to the stream. Hope everyone is doing well, and today we are just going to be practicing on Circuit of the Americans in Yaston. We've got the Apex Online Racing Championship coming up next week. So just going to be doing some practice for that. I've not touched Circuit of the Americans in a few months actually, and I've obviously never driven the Aston here because this is our first season in the Aston. I think we drove one or two like one-off endurance races in the Aston, but this will be my first season in the Aston Martin. So we'll see how we get on. What I'm going to be doing is just using the Heimo setups and just see how the car feels, and then I'll obviously over the weekend I'll make my own setup for the upcoming race. But been doing some LFM this week. Unfortunately wasn't able to stream just because my internet has been really bad at the moment, so hopefully the stream is okay today. But just there's been quite a bit of flooding in my area. Our house hasn't been affected at all. We were quite lucky actually, but the neighbouring villages and a lot of the roads around us have been flooded and things. So the broadband was just super slow obviously. So that's why I just haven't streamed at all this week, because even when I was just driving without streaming, my connection was still fairly high ping, but it did start to get a little bit better, so I was able to do some LFM races, got the rating up to 2800, and I've realised that, to be honest, we're trying to get the excuse me, we've been trying to get the ELO up. So what I found was, instead of doing the 25-minute races, they don't seem to actually give you that much ELO. Even if you finish inside the top 5 in a high split, I was only getting like 50 to 60 ELO, which isn't great. But I was doing the 45-minute races, which obviously have a higher ELO multiplier, so when the race goes wrong, you lose a lot. I had a race yesterday where I had a problem with my pit limiter. I pressed it and nothing showed me that it had actually engaged, so I pressed it, I accelerated, but actually it had engaged the first time. There's just nothing on the, what was the car I was driving? The McLaren. I'm used to the cars that I drive usually have a pop-up box on your dash that tells you the pit limiter engaged. So I was expecting that and it didn't pop up, so I just assumed I hadn't pressed it properly. So pressed it again, disengaged it, and then got a drive-through. And I got a drive-through, and then someone rejoined on 130R and just like destroyed my steering. I had no steering after that. So I just had to return to pits and then go out for the final lap, so it still counted that I finished the race just in last. But that did, I think that took away about 127 yellow. But then I did a race today, which was, it went wet to dry at Suzuka, and I gained about 117 ELO, and I only finished P5. I missed my jacks at the pit stop because I was fighting. It was a 5-way battle for the podium because there was P2, P3, P4, P5 and P6 all on the train, and I was right on the bumper of P3 going into the pit stop because it went from wet to dry, and I was right on the back of him, and then I missed my jacks because I'd stayed out longest on the wet tyres to wait for the perfect time to go to the dry tyres, and I forgot or didn't realise just how slippy the pit lane was going to be, and I missed my jacks, so I lost 5 seconds, but still got P5 in the end. So I gained quite a bit of ELO from that race. So I think, obviously we've got Apex on Tuesday, because if you guys watched the stream of me qualifying, I didn't leave myself time for Barcelona, so only tier 2 unfortunately. Nürburgring stint, good for tier 1. Barcelona stint, didn't get a very good one, didn't leave myself enough time. And so yeah, we're tier 2. But it means we raced on the Tuesday, so we've got a couple of days to get to grips with the McLaren here, the Aston here. But when we do some LFM next week, I'm just going to stick to trying and doing the 45-minute races, because honestly you get so much more ELO for a lot less effort actually. The 45-minute races are, I'd say, quite a bit less competitive. I saw the start of a Suzuka race yesterday. That was horrible in that one in the S's. Although, did you watch the LFM one that they streamed? Because I was in that one, the 45-minute race. Although, that was it yesterday I did? Or was it, yeah, I did do one that they streamed yesterday. But I think that was the first one, so I didn't do very much practice, so I didn't start very high. But then there was a crash on the S's, and I just, yeah, if it was the one yesterday, I think that was the one where I didn't get a very good quali. George Boothby in that was in that split, and on the first lap I got destroyed because there was a crash in front of me in the S, and then a BMW rejoined and hit me into another guy, so there was like a 4-car crash. I somehow managed to keep going in a straight line, but I think it was because he hit me into another car, which then straightened me. So I got 16 seconds of damage. So that was the race. I think that was the race I ended up retiring actually. Yeah, it wasn't the one where I got a drive through. That wasn't the one I retired in. Sorry, I said that wrong earlier. It was the race last night where there was that rejoin, because I remember I had by the end of lap 1 I had about 17 seconds of damage, and I was just trying to keep it together, and I had to defend all the way up to just before the pit stop, and then he got past me, and then I had a tiny bit of lag and rear-ended him into the hairpin, but I gave the position back, but it obviously cost me a lot of time and gave me a little bit more damage. And then coming into after 130R, the final chicane, my entire PC froze and I had no sound until the pit stop. So I had to just slam on the brakes basically, and I had no sound, and I was on for, I think I lost sound until I got to the pit stop, and then after that I think what was it now? Yeah, so I had that, which was a nightmare, and then I binned it myself because I had at the point after the pit stop I had about 20 seconds of damage, and I was just understeering so much that on the exit, as you come out of sector 1, you've got the left-hander just before you have the double right, and I just touched the grass and hit the wall, which gave me another 10 seconds of damage for the final 2 laps. So I finished the race with like 30 seconds of damage in like P19, but there was like George Boothby and everything in that stint. But yeah, there were some good races yesterday, and it was the one on Thursday where I was in the top 10 and I had the pit limiter, and that was the one where a guy rejoined and took me out. So yeah, there were some interesting races. Unfortunately, I just couldn't stream them, but like I say, I can't remember if I've said it right now, I've confused myself, but on Thursday we had the one where I had a drive-through, and then someone rejoined and took me out, and I had to retire until the final lap. And then yesterday we had that one where people rejoined, and I got like P19 because I had so much damage. But the 45-minute races, unless you get one like the one yesterday where it was a stacked grid, and like there was, I think there was 14 drivers with 4k ELO. Most of the 45-minute races you can get a lot of ELO without that much effort. I did one with Luciano the other day, and we didn't practice, we jumped straight into quali, and I think I gained like 100 ELO, and I finished like 4th or something. Whereas I think Luciano actually lost ELO on that one because he got a drive-through, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, tonight we're just gonna do some practice at Circuit Americans. This is like a practice race on Apex, so this is my first time trying the Aston here. So the usual problem with Cota is track limits. This one is usually my worst one, that little left-hander. Last time I raced here, that was the one that would always get me for track limits. Although usually this Aston is fantastic on the straight. What's some BOP like here? Minus 20 kilograms, so got a decent amount of straight line speed in the Aston. But we'll see if the broadband holds up. Hopefully it's good enough connection to stream the race on Tuesday and some LFM races. I need to remind myself of the braking points here, because I've missed just about every braking point. On the outlap anyway, the Aston feels quite good, the setup on that. I just need to remember how to drive it here. I think the last car I drove here was either the Porsche or the Audi, I can't remember. I think it was actually the PLR season finale. I think. I could be wrong. Okay, that was not a very good start to the lap. Yes, lap time involved. How are you getting on with that new HUD riddle thing? It was looking good, the picture you sent me last night, was it? Or this morning? It looked really good. Oh, too much on the brakes. I need to stop driving this like the Alpine. I was driving the Alpine recently, the GT4 quite a bit. and I need to stop driving this like that. Okay, can't use that curb. Man, the curbs are nasty. Yeah, it's in progress. I think I want to at least to show the corner delta, then everything else is optional. Oh, awesome. Also be right back, dinner is coming up. No worries, no worries. That sounds good though when you get that finished. Yeah, I think it will be useful, especially for hot lapping, to see, especially when you use it with the delta trace, to see if carrying the minimum speed, a higher or lower minimum speed is actually quicker. For some corners, carrying a lower speed is better because then you're quicker on the next corner sort of thing. So I think it'll be quite useful for like hot lapping and things like that. Also setup building as well, like as the tires degrade, how much the minimum speed in the corners changes. Just stuff like that. It's quite good for the delta, for the data and the delta. And I am struggling with the brakes. Okay, my broadband does not look like it's sorted itself enough to stream. It's back up to 400 ping. This is really annoying because I was racing LFM all week and had no connection problems whatsoever. And then I try and do some racing and it's like 400 ping. Car feels good, I just need to find the braking points. That was too late on the brakes, definitely. Well, just went purple in the first sector anyway. But that's about the only sector I've gone purple in. The middle sector is very slow. That lap. Yeah, purple sector 1. 3 tenths lost in the middle and then like 6 tenths in the final sector. So a lot of time still in the lap. Oh, run! I keep forgetting, right, that, like, the Porsche, see when you're low on fuel, you have a massive red warning on your dash. Low on fuel. As soon as you hit 5 litres, it's like, it almost puts you off when it comes on, because it's just this massive red warning. Whereas, on the Aston, you don't have that. So when I'm trying to do like a hot lap like that, I sometimes just completely forget to check the fuel. And then I embarrassingly just roll to a stop. But yeah, sector time, purple first sector, middle sector I need to find 3/10, which I think will definitely be doable. And then, yeah, 3/10 in the middle sector, almost exactly. And then that final sector though, Lamborghinis just went quicker. That final sector I'm losing 0.8 of a second. I mean, I guess final sector is quite big, but it does mean that there is a lot of time to find there. So obviously on the first half, like if we cut the track just in half, right? This first sector we're quickest in, just after a few laps. This second sector we've got to find a couple more tenths. But this final sector we're really slow. So need to find some time in that final sector. But considering we haven't driven this track in ages, and I've never driven the Aston here after 4 laps, it's not too bad, but we need to find a lot more pace obviously. Track temp is 31 degrees and it is a fast track, so far from ideal temps and track conditions to be doing good lap times in, but we'll see what we can do. Also for the race, it's either no refueling and a mandatory tyre change, or no tyre change and a mandatory refueling. I'll need to check. But one thing's mandatory and one thing is disabled, so I just need to check that for the race. Which Lamborghini is this? Oh, it's a slower one. I was hoping it was going to be Clifford so I could follow his line of it. But yeah, obviously fast track isn't the best grip, so. Still got the purple sector 1, but need to find some time in the rest of the lap. I want to see how quick the Aston is compared to the Lambo on the straight, because the Lambo has minus 11 kilogram. So the Lambo has 8 kilograms difference of BOP to the Aston, because the Aston is minus 19 and the Lambo is minus 11. So the Aston has 8 kilograms less than the Lambo, so it's not massive. Yeah, this is the AOR practice race. So I've literally not done a single lap in the Aston at this track, and I've not touched this track in ages. So I thought doing a race with a few, there will hopefully be a few quick guys in it, should be a good bit of practice, and they'll maybe be able to follow some lines. But I mean, already purple sector 1, but I need to find a lot of time in the final 2 sectors. Fast track and 31 degrees is not ideal, but should hopefully be able to find some time. The track limits are a bit of a pain though, as just demonstrated. the only thing you've really got to watch with this track, especially in any race longer than 25 minutes, is the track limits. I mean, even in a 25-minute race, I've been known to get a drive-through in the first like 4 laps of one of these races. I did like an open lobby race with another streamer a wee while ago. Luke Addison, I think it was, and he was like, "Oh, let's do a last to first challenge sort of thing," and by lap 3 I had a drive-through. That's how bad I was for track limits. Got a drive-through within like 3 laps. I'm finding the grip level extremely low, and that could just be how I'm driving the Aston, or it could be the fact that I've been driving the McLaren for the past couple of days, which has a lot of grip, or it might just be that it's a fast track and really high temps. Either way, I need to find a lot of time. That middle sector though, even though I messed up this lap and invalidated it, that middle sector was a 48.9, which would have been which would have been a purple middle sector. So we've done a purple first sector and have the pace for a purple middle sector. So I need to find some time in that final sector, because we potentially can do 2 purple sectors, but that final sector is slow. Oh, I can already tell the track limits are going to be painful tonight. That's another one there. Got enough fuel for another lap, and then I think I might go out with the race setup. Actually, nah, I'll just keep it with the quali, and I'll just save my tyre pressures. Right, this middle sector, I think if it's anything quicker than a 48.9997, that would have been a purple middle sector. Oh, 48.8. So that would have been purple by a 1/10.5 if this was a valid lap, but it wasn't. So it's this final sector that I've got to find time. Find the time in the first sector and the middle one, but I need to find some time in this sector. Oh, I followed the line, but it was the wrong line. Oh, that was a big chunk of time found there, just by lifting off a little bit earlier. I did some LFM races here a while back, and it's extremely painful trying to get a good lap in quali. But yeah, that final sector, I need to find a lot of time in that final sector. But the first 2 sectors are okay. Oh, locked up. That was not ideal. Okay, that was a slow first 2 sectors, unfortunately, that lap. Oh, we don't have the purple first sector anymore. But last lap we would have still got that purple middle sector, so we just need to find a little bit more time in this final sector. too wide. Too late on the brakes. Oh, invalid. Let's practice the pit entry then. Just need to see where the pit limiter sign is. Oh, it's like right there. See, this is what I was expecting on the McLaren yesterday. How it's got the pit limiter on the dash. The McLaren doesn't have that. I forgot to get the tyre pressures, didn't I? Right, let's now do another run. So we know that we've got okay pace in that first sector. 400s 400s off getting a purple first sector. We know we can do a purple middle sector if we go valid, but we need to find quite a bit of lap time in that final sector. So let's see what we can do on this run, and then we've got quali and then a 1 hour race. Should be some good practice. My thing I'm gonna have to watch in this race is making sure I don't get a drive through within the first 3 laps, because as stupid as it sounds, I have done it before and I don't really want to repeat it. But I'd rather do it in a practice race than the official race. Sir, what was that? I think they said servers being merged, because they had 2 servers. So they had one server for the tier 1 to tier 4 drivers, and then another server for tier 4 to tier 7. But I think they said they were merging the servers because there wasn't enough drivers in each server. Nearly went to the moon there. The curbs here, there will be significant pace difference. The curbs here, they look so inviting, like they're not that big and you could take them. They do not look that bad a curb, but they are lethal. Like, I don't know what they do to a car in real life, but they are nasty. Absolutely massive. Oh, invalid. Too much curb. Oh well. Hopefully we can get one final flying lap before qualifying. Hopefully my broadband is better by Tuesday, because it's not ideal at the moment.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, I'm going to the moon. Yeah, I messed that up. So obviously the tap of the brakes does not work, but the lift, like I did the other lap, worked perfectly. My broadband is obviously not good at the moment. All week it's been at like 50 millisecond, 50 ping. It's been great all week, but it just doesn't seem to be good enough to stream at the moment, which is a bit annoying. Hopefully it's going to be okay for the race. Oh, that's invalid again. Let's just see what the potential lap was going to be.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Already half a second up. No, oh, binned it. Stream to 30 FPS. That's a good point actually, I might be able to do that. Yeah, I'll sort that after this stream. But it's weird, right? Because how long do we have for quality? 15 minutes. Okay. So I'll need to remember to get the tire pressures then. It's weird because in the races we've got, like, when I did LFM I was having like 30 to 50 ping, which was absolutely fine, but then I did occasionally have like a massive lag spike, and it's the same when I'm streaming. I'm sat at like 40 ping and then there's a lag spike, and it goes to like 400 ping. It's weird. So I'll try sort it for Tuesday. But like there again, it went up to 170, and now it's back down to 40. It's weird. But yeah, potential to go P3 in that one. So pace is there. I just need to get a valid lap. Which is a lot easier said than done. How many have we got? We've got 45. Ah, yeah, because they merged the server. So for the race, no refueling but a mandatory tire change. So that's fine. So I'll just have to see how we get on. Still a fast track. Hopefully it goes optimum. But we'll have to get the tyre temperatures for the race. Oh! Oh! Oops.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I think someone was rather hard on the brakes after the pit lane. Exit. Whoa, come on.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Just came like right. Why are you?
Left. Clear on the left.
Was that my fault? Did I drift to the left? Or did he? drift to the right there, I'm not sure. Why is everyone braking so early? Nowhere near the final corner.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Alright, this is where I expect people to start queuing, but not going into the final sector. That's way too early. I'm getting quite the lag spike, which is a bit annoying.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Right, can we get a valid lap? That's the question. That is the question. Can we get a valid lap?
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Thank you,
On
McLaren.
the left. Clear on the left.
Okay, so that first lap was rubbish, but it was at least valid.
Not making the fastest lap so far. There's a slow car up ahead.
No! Oh, I've...
Got some light depth
Sorry.
in front of the car. Cut detected.
I just spun on my own. That was embarrassing. No denying it. That was incredibly embarrassing. Track is now optimal, which is good. Just gotta check. I've been tagged that it's not important. No, it's not. Okay. How has someone set an identical lap? P3 set an identical lap. Nice. Right, okay. We are losing a second. A second in that final sector. That's a massive amount of time. So, I need to find some time in the final sector.
There's a slow car up ahead.
And make sure the lap is valid. But first lap beat provisional P2, so that's okay. So I reduced the tire pressures just by a couple clicks, and we can now try and get a quick lap together instead of just making sure it's valid.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
That first lap I was just
Slow car ahead.
making sure I didn't invalidate it. Oh, everyone's improved. Just dropped from 2nd to 6th. Track is now optimum though, as I said, so should be able to find some pace now, which is good.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Okay, got the line completely wrong. Okay, we've got 6 minutes 40. Let's see if we can get a good lap in. Okay, lap invalid already, not ideal. And, well, thankfully it was an invalid lap because we got traffic. Only issue with them merging the splits as well is they said there's going to be quite a big pace difference, which obviously isn't ideal.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
But yeah, definitely some time to find, especially in that final sector. So try and make sure the next lap is valid.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
We'll see what kind of lap time we can do. Just understeers so much there.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of traffic.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Thank you, Ferrari, for getting out the way.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Come on. Thanks, mate. We'll see what we can do. Just trying to get a valid quali lap at the moment. No, my luck, I'll be like P25 in quali with a lap potential P3 or something like that. That would be my luck. Oh man, I'm going to get such an issue with traffic. It's going to be a nightmare. Only going to get two more laps, so hopefully we can get them valid. That was rubbish. Just locked up on the brakes. Okay, we get one final lap after this. This was a rubbish lap, unfortunately. That last lap, that was invalid. Would have been decent, but oh well. Still got one final lap.
Yellow flag is in. Be careful. Well done, mate. Your fastest step so far.
Right, we need a miracle of the final lap. Oh, I messed up that section, 3/10 gone. Oh, I didn't have enough fuel for the final lap. Ah, that's annoying. I forgot to check my fuel. It's 24/7, 24/7, 24/5, 24. Oh, well, there's pace in there. There's definitely some pace. I'm just gonna ask fuel for Aston. I'll wait till quali's ended. Don't want to put anyone off a quali lap. Oh well, there was a lot of time in that lap, so we'll see what we can do. Where was it? Suzuka? I was racing Jonathan at Suzuka for one of the 45-minute races. I think he beat us in the first one, and then we beat him in the second one. But it was quite good. But then I was in the McLaren, so I think I did have a bit of an advantage at Suzuka. But yeah, I need to find some pace. Just unfortunate we didn't really get a good lap there, but we'll see what we can do. So if I go for a 1 hour race with a fuel consumption that I had in quali, they're saying 87 litres. I'm gonna take what's the fuel consumption? 87 is definitely not enough. I mean, the current fuel consumption of 3.25, it's going to say 95 litres. So because we can't refuel, I think I might just do what the other guy said in the chat, go full fuel and just be safe. 110 litres. Don't have to worry about it, and just see what just adjust the tyre pressures at the pit stop. So mandatory tyre change. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. This will be interesting. So we'll see. I mean, I think there was a lot of potential in the lap, but that final sector, there's a lot of time to find. I wonder if I can quickly look up a YouTube video of the Aston at Cota, just to see. A 2043. I want to see how they take that final sector. Okay, so first gear for the first turn. Yep. Okay. Okay, so first gear there. I was trying to keep it in second, but no, first gear is better. Then first gear again. Okay, so how do they take this? Okay, so I see what I'm doing wrong with that, like, long right-hander. They're lifting off on the entry of that one, and then they're like full throttle, and then like half throttle. Basically just control the throttle a lot more than what I was. Double check the fuel, 110 litres first set of tyres. So yeah, I've not touched the race setup for here, so this will be interesting. Let's see what we can do. Mandatory tyre change, so we shouldn't have to worry about tyres. Just got to watch those track limits and just get a feel for the car. Starting P13, see how many positions we can make up. I think we can make up a decent amount. I need a livery for the Aston, because I've got a blue and a white and a grey one, which is similar to the SRE livery colour, but definitely need a proper Aston livery. I think track limit wise, from previous races, the first two sectors are the worst. The final sector isn't too bad, but like see here, this is my worst corner, that one. And then this one can be quite bad because you can see how much darker the curb is. It's actually, I find it quite hard to those corners with track limits. And then I also struggle in the races with this little right-hander. I often cut this too much. And then this left-hander, I usually cut too much. Or I cut too much on the exit. So basically, up until this point here is where I've got to be really careful with track limits. Because the rest of the track, you kind of know if you're going to get a track limit or not, whereas that first sector, you can take very, very little curb and get a track limit. Like, I've done it and got a track limit and I don't even know where I've got it before. So, it's just something you've got to watch with this track. Endurance racing is fun here because basically whoever has the least amount of drive-thrus gets the win, basically, because it is a nightmare here for drive-thrus. It would be interesting if ACC had like a slowdown system, like iRacing, where if you cut the track you have to slow down and give the time gained back. That could make things interesting. Not sure if it would be better or worse. It would be better for endurance races, because instead of only having 3 track limit warnings, you would just have to slow down every time you cut the track. Whereas for a sprint race, the track limits are better, because you have 3 warnings and then a drive-through. So for a sprint race, it's quite good. But for like an endurance race, only having 3 track limit warnings for like a 24-hour race is not great. And as usual, I'm having a 500 ping lag spike at the start of the race, and then it'll probably drop back down to 50 ping. So, yep, it drops down to 50 ping just after I say that. So, hopefully my connection will be okay, but we'll need to look into it before the race on Tuesday, because it's not looking good at the moment. Anyway, inside of turn 1, which is ideal. I'll have that inside line. So we'll see how we get on. Aston's usually quite bad off the lights, but seem to have gotten an okay getaway today. 3 wide into turn 1 isn't going to work. Around the outside of the BMW perhaps. Oh, that was a bit nasty. Survived the first lap. Well, the worst bit of the first lap anyway. Doesn't seem to be any big crashes. Oh, and I say that and there's a yellow flag. Let's go for the dive bomb. McLaren very early on the brakes, able to take advantage of that. Someone, I don't know what happened there, but to that Ferrari, but must have had some incident. Not sure if he spun by himself or what happened there, but it must, if he spun, he must have been one of the lead Ferraris, because he was, it looked like he might have done a donut there. So McLaren's going to send it up the inside, just decide not to brake. So thankfully we avoided getting murdered there. Okay. really sure what he was trying there. Right, we've sort of survived the first lap, up to P9 from P13 I think, so 4 positions. Let's see if we can catch the train in front. I was too late on the brakes, so was the BMW there. Bit of rubber banding.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Okay, 2.3 seconds to the next car. Just as I was just about to say, we got some battles up at the front of the field, and a Lamborghini just got killed there. Actually, P1 and P2 have pulled away from P3, and then it looks like there's a few cars battling for the top 3 at the moment, or for the podium. Yeah, we've got the 4 cars up in front, not that far apart from each other. Up to P7 from P13, which isn't too bad. I think there's a back marker there. That might be a track limit. Yep. But see, this is what I don't understand about Cota. Most other tracks that wouldn't be a track limit because I lifted off the throttle and lost time. Cota is like just super severe on track limits, or super strict I should say. It's just like you go wide, you lose time. Track limit immediately. Like, I literally hit the curb and got airborne. Thank you, McLaren. Looks like he's going to let us by. Okay, so we need to find some lap time here. Need to be in those 206s at the very least. Leaders is probably doing 205, so need to find quite a bit of lap time without getting a track limit warning. Okay, much better exit out that left-hander there onto the back straight.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
BMW held on to that position. McLaren almost had him. We are losing quite a bit of lap time to the cars in front. Yeah, pace is terrible at the moment. That final sector, I don't understand why I'm so slow in the final sector. I must be doing something really wrong.
Car on the left.
Completely locked up there.
Clear on the left.
No, he wasn't going to leave us much space there at all. I need to try follow the BMW to the final sector because I'm just losing a ridiculous amount of time in that final sector. I'm doing something really wrong and I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's costing me about a second every time we go through the final sector. So even if my first two sectors are okay, that final sector is just absolutely terrible. Okay, very offline. Come on. I'm sliding too much, that's what I'm doing. I'm sliding way too much.
Yellow flag, sector 2.
Is the BMW car sliding? It doesn't look to be. But I'm just so slow in the final sector. It's really frustrating me that I'm a second slower in the final sector. I don't understand what I'm doing so wrong that I'm losing that much time. It's like a massive amount of time. Over the whole lap, that would be fine, but just the final sector, I'm doing something really wrong. Well, that's why we're practicing tonight for Tuesday. But I'll need to have a look at some hot lap videos and find out what I'm doing wrong in that final sector. The first drive through took longer than I expected. No worries, mate, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I need to watch some hot lap videos because I am losing so much time, it's ridiculous. I'm really slow at the moment. So I need to find a lot of lap time. Another driver to drive through. There's something I'm doing really wrong. So I need to watch some hot lap videos to find out what it is. Whatever it is, it's costing me a second at least a lap. Which is not ideal. I'm not sure if I turned in. I think I maybe turned in on him there. I think that was my fault. Tires are gone. Completely flat spotted. I think that was my fault though. I don't think I left him enough space. Oh well, lost quite a few positions there. I need to have a look at the replay before I could really say whose fault that was. I think I didn't leave him enough space, but I need to have a look at the replay with that one. Now a couple of drivers with drive-throughs. See if we can find some pace. Right, 5 minutes, and then I think I'll pit. Tires are quite wrecked after that spin, unfortunately. The temperatures, the pressure, sorry, is actually pretty much perfect. Maybe tiny bit low, but not bad. That was a bit late to try getting a pit lane by the BMW. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a drive through there because he seemed to not know where the pit entry was. Glad I at least had a look at where the pit limiter line is in the practice session, because it's like as soon as you turn left it's just there, so you've not practiced it. It's very easy to get a stop and go for speeding in pit lane, especially if someone's taking out the pit board, and then it's even worse. Another driver with the drive through. Right. I think we'll come in at the end of this lap. Have a pit stop. Okay, big lock up there. Don't know why the McLaren didn't go up my inside there actually. Because I completely locked up. I expected him to fly down my inside there. Oh, guy behind me just got a drive through. Drive-throughs have been pouring in. Tons of them going out recently in the last couple laps. So no refueling. We definitely got way too much fuel. But rather be safe than sorry. But yeah, it looks like we've got 20 litres too much fuel.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Oh, someone else got a drive-through as well. The only guy near my position that's got a drive-through is the guy right behind me. Okay, was that on the jacks? Yes. Oh well. I don't know about the incident with the Ferrari. I think it was my fault, to be honest, but I need to have a look at the replay footage to know for sure, but I think I turned in on him, to be honest.
Mandatory stop is not clear. Come on, let's go.
Oh, now the drivers drive through. All behind us though. Looks like we might still be in the top 10 at least. Feels much nicer with those fresh tyres and immediately a track limit. Pain. Just as I was saying, the car felt better as well. So we will have to watch our track limits. No one in front has a track limit at the moment. There's 4 drivers still to pit at the moment though. Well, it does feel good on the new tires anyway. I think we're actually that 296 Ferrari, I'm not sure if he was in front or behind us. Well, I think were we P9 before the pit stops, I'm not sure. Not actually sure what position you were in. I think maybe it was P10 actually. Because I lost position just before the pit stop. And the Lambo currently in P3 went for a different strategy as well. Because he pitted really early. That line was not ideal. We need to practice a lot for Tuesday. There's a lot of time to find out this track.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Final warning for exceeding 30 minutes.
What? I don't even know where I got the warning. Oh, and of course I lock up. Oh, this is gonna be painful. This is gonna be a painful race. B3's just got to drive through. I can just tell that Tuesday's gonna be pain. We're gonna have to do a lot of practice. Yeah, I've got to be careful we don't get that third warning. Wonder if anyone else is going to get a drive-through, because P3's just got a drive-through, which I assume he's going to serve this lap. Well, I'm not sure. Be interesting if ACC had it so like you could see how many warnings another driver had. Although I think a lot of teams would use it strategically, like push another driver wide so they get a drive-through and you see them on 3 track limit warnings. I think it could be abused quite a bit. Would make things interesting though. But I think a lot of the time if you saw someone on 3 track limit warnings and you pushed them wide and they got a drive-through, I think a lot of drivers would do that. Slow, super slow. I'll drive through for someone. Messed that one up. So many drivers are getting drive-throughs at the moment. We've got to be careful we don't get ours. Was a bit wide at turn 1. Okay, the 2 cars up in front are battling at the moment, it looks like. Or closing in on each other. I think the Ferrari's catching that Aston Martin. I'm braking too early for these corners, and then I try braking late and I lock up. Pain. I need to find what I'm doing so wrong in the final sector. So I think once we do this race we'll look at some hot lap videos. Just try find some pace. Oh, someone else was the drive-through. Behind us though. Back marker died.
Slow car ahead. Gaining on the car ahead, sector 3. Well done, mate. Personal fastest now.
Still way too slow in that final sector. That's the second day in a row my screen's froze. Thank goodness we didn't get a drive-through. I'm not sure you guys saw that on the stream, but I just had a complete screen freeze there for a solid 3 to 4 seconds. That's the second day that's happened. Yesterday I did an LFM race and the same thing happened. But it was just randomly. I must have done maybe been on my PC for 6 hours yesterday, because I was studying and I was on a Zoom thing for like 2 hours, and then I was racing for like 4, and it only froze once, and it was in the middle of an LFM race, like halfway through the race. That was really weird. I'm just glad we didn't get a drive-through there for track limits, because I just had to slam on the brakes. I don't know how much time we lost. I think it was like 4 seconds or something. I just had to slam on the brakes there, because if I went full throttle I would have gotten a drive-through for sure. Oh, 2.5 seconds we lost. That was a weird one. I just completely froze. Another two drive-throughs within that one final sector. Another 2 drive-throughs for other drivers. Now, can we get to the end of the race without a screen freeze, hopefully? Still no drive-throughs for the guys in front of us. I've got to be careful I don't get a drive-through myself. like that. Okay, we're going to have to defend for the final 10 minutes. Try not to get that drive through. He's not close enough to dive bomb. That's one of the best places to go for a dive bomb, if you're close enough, but he wasn't quite close enough there. Okay, just got to make sure I don't get a drive through or lose this position now. I think we just try and defend this top 10. There's no way we're catching the cars in front. I did not want to risk getting a drive through by pushing too hard.
Yellow flag is set.
I think that's behind us because I don't see a yellow flag in front. Either that or it was just a back marker slowing to move out the way, which sometimes makes the yellow flag appear. Too late on the brakes. He's very slow on the straight considering he's got slipstream. I wonder if that's just because of the BOP difference. Oh, another drive through. If it's BOP difference or he's running a high wing setup. P3 got a drive through, so the last driver who was sat in P3 was a Ferrari, he got a drive through, and now another driver who's now taken that P3 also got a drive through. So it looks like you don't want to be in P3, otherwise you'll get a drive through. So that'll be a free position. Oh, we just jumped up to 9th. Did he just return to pits? Or did something else happen and someone returned pits? Because we just got a free position. And I don't know why. We just got to make sure I don't get a drive through in the final, like, 6 laps. We can keep this Lamborghini behind. That's the main thing. Oh yeah, someone did. P2's disappeared. The driver who was P2's disappeared. I wonder if he's had a disconnect. So the driver that's now got P2 has that drive through, so that's a free position. Might be a free position. Depends if he gets out of the pit lane before we get there. It's a fairly long pit lane, but I'm quite far behind because I am super slow. Someone else just got to drive through it.
Car on the left. Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Don't push me wide onto track limits, please.
Clear on the left.
Note that McLaren seems to have popped out in front of us, it looks like, after the drive-through. It's no free position. So main focus is just to try and keep this Lambo behind. That McLaren popped out just at the right point for himself because he's come out just in front of that Ferrari and Aston, I think. So he's got two positions there that he could have very easily lost if he had just been slightly further back. I think we've got like 3 laps left or so. Just try and keep this Lambo behind. Oh, that was too late. I'm still pulling away on the straight. I don't understand. He must be running a high down for a setup, surely. Because I have 8 kilograms of BOP less than he does. But with him being in the slipstream, I would think that he would catch me more. Plus I've got 30 litres of fuel left and I only need 10, so I've got like 20 litres extra fuel, which is basically 20 kilograms? So unless he's also overfueled, I should have more weight than he does. But then the Aston is usually fairly strong on the straight, but I would have thought with him being in the slipstream he would catch me. But at the moment I'm not pushing at all, I'm just trying to make sure I don't get a drive through on the final 3 laps, because that would be painful. Very painful. Almost a bit of contact there. Yeah, he's in the slipstream and he's just losing on the straight. I'm very surprised. It's either that the Lambo's just not very good on the straights here compared to the Aston, or he's running very high wing setup, because unless he's overfueled as I have, I think I've got more weight than him because I'm quite a bit overfueled. So if he's put the correct fuel calculation in, he should be a bit lighter. I think we've got 2 laps left after this one. So just got to make sure that don't get that drive through. Try and defend the position. Okay, I am struggling for grip.
Alright, man. The leader is on the final lap. Give me the final push.
That's how far behind we are. That's a massive gap. So yes, I need to find a lot of pace at Cota before Tuesday.
Car on the
Are you
right.
guys going to send it there?
Clear on the right.
Leave the space.
Car on the left.
Just left the door open because I wasn't sure if he was going to try it there. Oh, that was too wide, that was too wide, that was too wide.
Clear on the right.
Can we pass him on the final lap is the question. That was a rookie error going that wide.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
What happened there? Did he just run out of fuel? That. He seemed to just put his lights on and slow down, and now it's fine.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
That was weird. Let's go in the position back.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. The leader has finished the race. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Nice wee switch back there. No.
Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
Oh, there we go. Nice wee battle. Pace was absolutely rubbish. Some good battles there. Alright. Save the replay so we can have a look at the replay. Oh well. Let's have a look at the replay. So I want to have a look at the Ferrari incident, which... Who did the BMW get past me? Oh yeah, this was a very clean move by the BMW. I completely locked up, as you can hear, into turn 1. He got on the outside of us, and then the inside of this corner. He didn't really leave me any space to go here, so that's why I backed out, because that would have been contact. It was good of him to go around the outside, but yeah, he didn't. This corner here, I knew as soon as I got to here, I just hit the brakes because I knew he wasn't going to leave me space, and it was just going to be contact. So, what I want to see is this Ferrari. This lap, there's contact between us, and I want to see. I think it's my fault, but I want to see. Let's have a look at my POV first. Obviously, we see more with this camera angle. So he goes for the inside, which I expect. So I go for the cutback. Go for the outside, which is the inside of the next two corners. And then here I get... Oh. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because here, right, we're alongside, so I have to leave him space. But then here I get fully ahead. That looks similar to what could have happened with the BMW. But the roles were reversed because the BMW was on the outside. And I backed out going into this corner because I thought that would happen to me when the BMW was on the outside here. I backed out because I saw the BMW about to cut me off, and I hit the brakes and backed out. Whereas the Ferrari doesn't back out. So I don't know if that's a racing incident or if he's at fault because he should have backed out. I don't know. Because when the roles were reversed and it was me and the BMW, I backed out of that one because I knew he was fully ahead. So I'm not sure. What do you guys think? If the Ferrari should have hit the brakes and backed out of that one, or if I should have left him space? I don't know about that one, in all honesty. But oh well, P8 from 13th with that spin. The pace was not there, but yeah, I think I'm gonna watch a hot lap video and go into a hot lap server because I need to find some pace. Cota public. Cota practice. Cota hot lap. Don't want the Alpine. Want the new Aston, which I need to see if we've got an SRE livery for Apex. No, it's AOR, isn't it? How's it going, Milo? Thanks for tuning in. How are you doing, mate? You feeling better after the after the accident? Or are you still in a bit of pain? Is your friends alright? Because you said some of your friends got quite a bit hurt. Or are they still in the hospital at the moment? Feeling gut. I'm gonna assume that is good. But yeah, if you're feeling better now, that's great. It did look quite a nasty crash, like. Good. Thought so. Oh, that's good to hear, mate. Glad that you're recovering now. Now, is your friends alright as well? Have they recovered? Surprisingly, we're all fine. That's good. That's good. 'Cause it did look quite a bad crash. I just need to have a look at a hot lap and see if I have a livery for the Aston. Is there an Aston livery? Oh no, don't have one. See if I can find a hot lap. Have you been up to much recently, Milo? Then, or just taking it easy at the moment? I'm just gonna watch a hot lap video at the moment and see what I'm doing so wrong. Because there's something I'm doing wrong. Oh, YouTube is such a pain. If you double tap pause, it like minimizes the screen from full screen. Like I just want to pause it to see where the breaking point is, and it closes it. Doctor told me to be careful with doing stuff for a week. Yeah, that's good. Just try and take it easy for a while. And every day's getting better, like the dizziness and stuff. Oh, that's good to hear, mate. Just take it easy till you're fully recovered. Have you been able to get as your work giving you some off time and that for you to recover? Or are you still working at the moment? Okay, I've seen the hot lap. Let's see if we can actually put that into practice. I can't work like this. Well, that's good. That's good that you've gotten it off work. Because yeah, you can't be working if you've got a concussion and things. It could be fun, not gonna lie. Fun's one way to look at it. It would be very interesting. But glad to hear that you're recovering, mate, and hopefully you have a speedy recovery. And just don't let your friends drive next time. Just make sure you're the driver. I'm just gonna check there isn't like a open lobby for Cota. If there isn't, I'll just jump into Apex. I just want to check there isn't like a public one that we can also practice the racing in as well. Cota isn't usually a very popular circuit, hence why I haven't driven it in ages. Got like 3 people in it. 5 people in it with maximum of 10. Nah, let's just go for the Apex. We got a flat tire in that corner. We got a flat tire in that corner. Oh, that's not. I thought last time you said it was you'd hit a puddle and you'd aquaplaned. Yeah, I remember you said the tyres were old, but I think last time that you talked to me about it, you'd said that it was aquaplaning on a puddle or something. Was it actually a flat tyre? You gotta be so careful with tyres, because it doesn't take much for a tire to fail, but it's like not as I thought at first, but in the end it was because of tire. Oh, that's not good at all. The old tires you've got to be really careful with, because they might look fine, but it doesn't take much for them to fail. Because I was doing car cleaning maybe a month ago, and I was cleaning an older guy's car, and he said he doesn't really drive it much. He drives it like basically around town for years. So for like years, it's probably not done more than 10 miles. So you just don't go through the tires tread. But just because the tire tread isn't wearing out doesn't mean the tire isn't degrading. So like there were chunks out the side of the tire, like proper chunks out the side of the tire, and he was like, "Oh, I better look at getting them replaced because I've not replaced them the entire time I've had the car." And it was same as your friend. He's had those tires on for years and years and not replaced them. So you've got to be really careful with the old tires because sometimes you don't even realise how close they are to failing, especially if they've got plenty tread. They can still fail, so you've got to be really careful with them. Has your friend managed to get a new car, or is he gonna wait till he's fully recovered? He's gonna wait, I'm sure. Oh, that's good then. I assume he'll be able to claim on his insurance for a new car, or a payout of whatever his old car was worth. Yeah, definitely get a car with airbags or new tires, both of which would be highly recommended. Either tell him to buy a car with airbags or new tires. Oh my goodness, that curb is nasty. He lives in the 90s. To be fair, I would say though, like, there are a lot of people that like the old cars, myself included, because like the new cars, unless it's like a new sports car, your average car now, it's just so boring. Like, oh, next lap in valve. How's that even possible? But like, it's like BMWs or Volkswagens or Mazda's version of a 4x4, and then or Kia's version of a 4x4. Like, it's all the same car and very similar shape, with just a different badge on it and slight differences to the look of them. But like, so many cars look so similar now. You know, it's just each brand's version of a certain car, whereas before, different cars used to look so different. Like in the 70s, the 60s, cars had a lot more character. Like, your average car had a lot more character, and different brands, there was quite big differences, which made them look so much better. Whereas now it's just so boring, the cars. And like, your average car, it's just a different brand's version of the same body shape. I mean, like Kia, BMW, Audi, all, there's a few other brands that all have like their own version of each other's car. I mean, even like Lamborghini and Ferrari have released 4x4s. Well, SUVs, I don't know what you would call them. But yeah, it's just the old classics had a lot more character. So, like I say though, some of the new sports cars look really nice, but the new cars today that are just like kind of the average car, they look really boring. Plus, most of them are going electric, which I just absolutely hate. Hate electric cars. Not the technology or anything. I think the technology behind electric cars is amazing. Like the instant torque and everything, it's amazing. The thing I just really hate with electric cars is how everyone thinks they're better for the environment. But when you actually look into it, electric cars are worse. It's just they take the pollution from the city to the factory, but more pollution in the factory and the electricity than just a gas car sort of thing. But the actual technology behind an electric car I think is amazing. It's just the kind of mindset behind electric cars that they're better for the environment, and the fact that they're kind of forcing people to buy electric cars. Like our country at the moment, I'm not sure what it's like where you live, but here we've got like low emission zones, so you have to pay every single day if you don't have a car that's under certain emissions, and it's not cheap. Like some places it's like £12.50 a day just if you have a car that doesn't comply with the low emission sort of thing. So they're kind of like forcing you to get an electric car if you live in a low emission zone. Like I personally, there are cities like Glasgow. I can't drive in the city centre with my car, otherwise I'll get a fine. And it's not cheap either. It like doubles every time you go in it at the same day. So like if you go in and then back out and then back in again, because the thing with a low emission zone, right, is it's not like a perfect square. It kind of goes in and then out. So some streets are in a low emission zone and some aren't. So you can go in the low emission zone, out it and then back in it without realising, and then you get like triple charged. So yeah, I kind of hate that with electric cars, how they're forcing it. It wouldn't be so bad if it was like encouraged to get electric cars in cities, because it does get rid of a lot of pollution out the city, but just the amount that they charge you here for not having electric cars, just ridiculous. Oh, that's not enough fuel. Hybrid cars. I would definitely agree with you on hybrid cars. I have a friend, and I also clean his car. So I was cleaning his car a wee while ago, and he said he's got a hybrid Toyota. It's a Toyota 4x4 hybrid. I want to say it's a RAV4, but I don't know if that's right. I think it's a Toyota RAV4. I can't remember. But it's the 4x4 Toyota. That's the hybrid model, and he says that's fantastic because you get a certain amount of range with the electric motor, and then the rest you use on fuel. So you get, it is a RAV4, so you get a really good range on your tank of fuel, because you've got that hybrid. But he doesn't have to plug it in to charge it, because the car charges itself whilst it's driving. It charges the battery up, so you don't have to sit there and plug it in. You just as you're driving, it charges up the battery, and then you use the battery charge, and then it charges itself up again. It's great. I like the Camry one with 2.5 litre. I'm not sure if I've looked at that one yet, but I do think the hybrids are definitely a really good idea, especially since you don't have to charge them up. And he said with his Toyota, he has something with the Toyota did some sort of, or still do some sort of battery guarantee with their hybrids that, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like if the battery breaks down, they will come and they will replace the battery free of charge. It's like I'm not sure if it's a lifetime guarantee of the car that the battery won't need replaced, and if it does, they'll replace it for you, or if it's a certain time period, they'll replace the battery for free. But he said that he really likes the hybrids. But I know two people that have had an electric car. One put it back and got a hybrid, and that was a BMW. And then someone else I know got an electric Volvo, and they said they wouldn't buy an electric car again. So yeah, the only people I know that have had an electric car said they wouldn't get another one, and the person I know that's got a hybrid says they really like it. Like M5 from Toyota, like sporty sedan. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't know the details on it, but it was a pretty good warranty thing on the battery for the Toyota. But I don't know if it's different models and things like that. But it was only the hybrid. Polestar, yeah, it's there's a good few Polestars near where I live, and they do look quite smart. I do like the look of them. It's like a Volvo but more expensive. But yeah, the Polestars do look quite smart. Way too late on the brakes there. But in the end, I still want to buy a GT86 or BRZ as my second car. It's not that expensive for a GT86. How much does it cost in Czech for a GT86? Because I saw one here the other day for like 9 or 10 grand. They're not like super expensive, but they're not cheap either. That was the GT86. I'm not sure if you remember, there was an episode on Top Gear, and Clarkson showed how easy it was to drift the GT86. and he did a donut whilst reading a book. Whether or not it's actually that easy to drift it, I don't know, but it did look quite cool.
Your lap time is invalidating. Please try to stay on the track.
£14,000 for a GT86. Brand new or second hand? The GT86 is a fair amount of car for the money, to be honest. Because you get the Toyota, or you get the is it the Toyota and the Subaru that it's both the same car, it's just a different brand. That's the price for a 3rd gen Octavia here. Wow. Second hand. Is a decent amount of car for the money, like. Plus you can drift it whilst reading a book. I wonder how much you would be on insurance for the GT86. I'm gonna guess quite a lot. Probably like probably like a few thousand for a year. Same as your Mazda. For an insurance on a GT86 should be the same as your Mazda. That's really good, actually. Because I would have thought the GT86 would be quite a bit more expensive than your Mazda. Although, to be fair, you do have quite a sporty Mazda. But still, I would have expected the GT86 to be more expensive. Why do I keep invalidating there? I can't even see the track limit line. It's like so rubbered that you can't actually see the white line. Absolute pain. Oh, that's true actually. It's got the same engine size as your Mazda, doesn't it? Well, that's quite good then, actually. Yeah, if you get a GT86, that would be awesome. I mean, you've already got quite a sporty first car, but GT86 would be even better, you know. What would be your dream car, Milo, that's under £1 million? Like your dream car. But in like 4 years. Well, it gives you something to save up for and things like that. Plus, in 4 years, your insurance should be hopefully quite a bit cheaper. But still, if you get that in a few years, that would be awesome. Oh, that is a good car as well. Any type of Sylvia, that would be a good car to have. Oh, look up. How's it going, mate? Oh, pain. I need to find so much time in that final sector. Basically any JDM from 85 to 2000. Yeah, the JDM cars are quite nice. That's why I want the GT86. Yeah, it's the same potential. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It would be awesome if you got something like that. Honestly, that'd be so nice. Fine. Fine. What about you? Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Have how did were you in the GT4 playoffs today, Luca? Or have you done much racing recently? I just want to look, right, see how much the GT86 is here, because if I just search, right, a 2018 GT86 with the 2-litre engine and 19,000 miles is £21,000. You can get. Wait. Oh, I see why that's that. So yeah, you can get a 2018 for 21,000. You can get a 2016 for 16,000. You can get a 2012 for 16,000. Is there any cheaper ones? Cheapest I've seen is like 16 grand. There's one here for 2013 for 10 grand, but it's got 100,000 miles on the clock. Another 2012 for 14,000. Yeah. It looks like you would struggle to get one here for much less than 10 grand. There's a 2012 here for 10 grand. It looks like it depends on the engine model and the specs and stuff, as to how good of a car, how good you can get. I mean, there's one here with a 99,000 miles. It's been modded, this GT86, but it's only 9 grand. And it's got a spoiler, and it's got a exhaust and Brembo discs and upgraded wheels, and it's the cheapest one I've seen. But yeah, you're talking about 10 grand here for one. No, it was someone else that did it tonight. Ow! Sorry, dropped my keyboard right on my toe. We was on P3, so perfect to reach the GT4 spot that when we got Dimond by. Yeah, I didn't see you guys get Dimond, but I did see you take out P3 on the final lap. I thought you were gonna get P3 back, but I can't remember who was driving. Just took each other out. But yeah, I tuned into the race a couple times, and I saw some of you some of you guys fighting for the P3 spot. It was bound to happen though for the P3 spot to have a few desperate moves, but I didn't see you guys get dive bombed, but I did see the ballast car take out whoever was P3 on the final lap. It looked like it was going to be a three-way battle for that final qualifying spot, and then the guy in P5 just inherited the P3. But yeah, one of those things. I guess I need to sell 100 pairs of shoes and can afford it. I mean, if you're going to wait 4 years, that's only 25 pairs of shoes a year. It's like 2 pairs a month. Sell 2 pairs a month. There you go. GT4 in 4 years. I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. Most likely I will, but I'm not 100% sure yet. There's something else I needed to remember. Yeah, we've got the race on Tuesday, but if I can't improve the connection, I may decide not to stream it. But I'll just have to wait and see. Tonight for that race, it was okay, but I did have some really big lag spikes. So I'm hoping we'll be okay for Tuesday. But like I say, we've been quite lucky with the flooding actually, because our house has been fine. We have a horse shelter that blew over onto its roof. Somehow there's absolutely no damage to the shelter, and one of the farmers just came with a JCB like forklift and just dipped it back over, and there's no damage to it whatsoever. I don't know how, but it's against like a barbed wire fence, because it's got horses in it. They've got like an electric fence, so they don't cut themselves on the barbed wire, because they can't go further than the electric fence. But the shelter is just in front of like a barbed wire fence, and the wind blew it over onto its roof, so it was resting on the fence. And I think the fence is okay. I think 1 or 2 of the posts are a little bit bent that might need fixed, but the actual shelter itself is absolutely fine. It's got no damage. I don't know how. But apart from that, we've been quite lucky with the flooding. So we've been, like I say, we've been okay, but the broadband and stuff is really slow at the moment, because like there's a town 10 minutes from my house that's like flooded. Part of the town's flooded, so obviously the broadband is not great because some of the lines are down and things. But there's also, where I used to work is about 7 minutes from my house, and there is a river that is just, the river's like just behind where I worked, but on the way to it you would cross the river and then you would come back to the river, because the road wasn't like a straight line to it, so you almost did a big U-turn basically. But the bit where you cross the bridge, the water level went up by 5 meters. That's how much rain there was. Like that's how one of the towns flooded, because the water level went up by 5 meters, which is just ridiculous. To like put into perspective, like the bridge is just really, really high, and the water was like up to the top of the bridge. I've never seen it so high, and the town that flooded as well. I mean, I've not lived like where I live right now, I've kind of lived in the same maybe like 20-mile radius for a number of years in just different houses, and I must have been for like what, at least 7 years, and I've never seen it flip that bad. I mean, I did hear one radio, or no, I think it was my uncle that said he heard someone say on the radio that it was the most rainfall they have had since like 1890. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. That might be exaggerated. But either way, the flooding was really bad. But where we lived, we're okay. It's just the broadband's been rubbish. So hopefully we can get back to streaming. But just this week, it's just the broadband has not been good enough. I didn't want to disconnect out of another LFM race. But yeah, I think it's okay now. We saw today. I think it's okay now. It's just we're going to get a few lag spikes until it's completely fixed. But yeah, just one of those things. But I think that's it for tonight. Like I say, I'll hopefully stream tomorrow night. If not, I'll be streaming Monday night, and then the race is, excuse me, the race is Tuesday night. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I've got to find a lot of pace. I watched a hot lap, and I can see exactly what I was doing wrong. So it's just a case of practicing and putting it into practice, but I know exactly what I'm doing wrong now. So we'll see how we get on. But I dropped my race again. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again next time.